Day 188, South Park. No, not the TV show. I don't think I've actually seen a full episode of that, but anyway, let's say you were down at the Chase Center or Oracle Park watching a ball game, basketball game. Anyway, baseball game or basketball game. I guess they're both ball games. And you don't want to get back on public transit. You just want to walk to BART, head back to the East Bay or Peninsula, wherever you're headed, or you live in San Francisco. Beautiful night, right? So you start making your way up towards Market Street. And let's say you're walking up 3rd Street because 3rd Street, right? And as soon as you hit Brannan, Bryant, there's this big park in the middle. Depending on how dark it is, you'll be able to see it or not. And there's a literal street called South Park. And the park that I'm referring to is this big ellipse, this big oval, and it's a relic of the past. Like there's just something about it and the energy that you just know that it was something like monumental that was important, but it's again, the best way I know how to describe it is just it's something from the past. So South Park, which is actually a square between Brannan and Bryant, 2nd and 3rd Street. Again, that big circle is the actual park, which was designed as this very high-class, bougie, gated community in early San Francisco by a British entrepreneur, if I'm not mistaken, based off of these bougie communities that they have in like London. So as Soma developed, which is actually the neighborhood where South Park is, Soma developed as lots of warehouses, lots of more like an industrial district south of Market. So as that happened, the land was converted. It was converted from this elegant park into this gated exclusive park into something that was open to the public. And then it was very popular with Japanese, Irish, and Greek immigrants. Moved in, started different businesses. Again, I'm barely scratching the surface of all of this, but my understanding is that like there were Japanese-owned hotels. There was also like a Filipino-owned hotel. But South Park was known as one of the original Japanese neighborhoods, historically Japanese neighborhoods before Japanese internment, and in addition to what is now known as Japantown. But also Japantown was largely developed after internment. That was designated land afterwards. Anyway. So what is now known as Japantown anyway. Back to South Park. So the other thing about South Park is that the actual park that's known at, it was known very interestingly enough for bonfires that were set by longshoremen in the middle of the park to keep themselves warm and while they like waited for calls. So very, very, very fascinating history. Nowadays, there's a bunch of bougie tech companies by there, and it's become very expensive, like much of like the rest of San Francisco. But there, yeah, you have to go and visit. It's one of those places you just kind of got to go and see it, but it's also like hiding right in plain sight. There's like Jack London Street, named after like if you know Jack London Square in Oakland. And then I think in 2017, a huge playground was built. So that's new. That was never, yeah, the playground is fairly new. Not historic at all to have ever had a playground there. But anyway, just a little bit about the tiny little exclusive neighborhood in San Francisco known as South Park.